Hello, and welcome to TESOL's video tutorials. In this video, I'll be talking about using songs in ESL classes. I will be discussing some tips and tricks to make the most of this valuable resource. I will also present some sample exercises that have worked well with my students. First of all, why use music and songs when teaching English as a second language? Well, almost 100% of students enjoy listening to music, and most of them also enjoy songs in English. Thanks to globalization and the ever-present media in our lives, music in English is popular all around the world and readily available through a number of resources. In fact, students often listen to music in English and sometimes even sing along without knowing the language yet. Another reason why it's beneficial to bring music and songs into your classes is because it can set a better pace and a better mood for everyone in the class. Improving the overall atmosphere of the class by using a song can have long-lasting benefits for everyone involved. Last but not least, songs can be easily adapted to fit different goals or aims in a lesson. Once the song is chosen, a teacher's creativity can easily adapt it according to the level of the students and the need of the lesson. Such a versatile resource should not be wasted. In this presentation, I am going to show you a variety of exercises and tasks with different kinds of songs for different levels of ESL classes. Songs can be added to any part of your lesson. If you're using the presentation practice production model, songs can be used mostly as part of the presentation and practice stages, and even the production stage if you have very creative students. With the test, teach, test model, songs can be used in any of the test stages, and even the teach stage if you have songs that talk about the language point being taught, or if you create songs about the rules of grammar, for example. If you choose to use a task-based approach for your lesson, songs can also fit in several stages during the lesson. They can be used as pre-tasks, as the main listening task, and even during the language focus stage, again, if the song discusses the concepts necessary to understand the language point being taught. There are certain things to bear in mind when deciding which song to use and how. As a teacher, you need to do some detective work to find out what kind of songs your students like and what they don't like at all. Of course, classes are not a la carte, but if we can cater to their students' interests and the motivation factor will always create a more lasting memory and a better experience for everyone. Timing is also very important. Songs can change the pace of a lesson, and the right type of song can be used to liven up a group of students who are slowly getting disengaged, or to calm a rambunctious group down when it's needed. Having the right handout for the lesson is key as well, because a handout with too many blanks can become frustrating for students. Once the handout is created, you should try to complete it or ask someone else to complete it before using it in the classroom, in order to make sure that it's neither too challenging nor too easy. It's also important to bear in mind the noise level in and around the classroom when working with a song. On the one hand, the volume of the song needs to be loud enough to be clear for all students, but not too loud to disturb other classes around you. And on the other hand, the noise level outside the classroom should be taken into account because it can become a hindrance when working with a song. For example, if your lesson happens to coincide with a moment or a day when there is construction nearby, you will have to change your plans and save the song portion, or even the whole lesson maybe, for another moment or another day. Songs can be played from your personal collection, the student's collection, or even the internet. Remember that, as with all kinds of listening activities, students will probably need to listen to the song more than once. 2 or 3 times seems to be the average. Finally, lyrics for songs can be easily found online nowadays as well and quickly transferred onto a word processing document to edit, change, and use to your liking. The website lyricstraining.com is a great free online resource with a wide variety of songs and videos for students to practice and work on, either in class or at home. On this website, students can choose a song to work on, and as it plays, they have to fill in the blanks. The level of difficulty can be chosen, and it's also interesting that each song includes the type of English it uses. As the song progresses, students can complete the blanks, and if they're running behind, the song is automatically paused and restarts when they complete the word or skip it by pressing the tab key. Finally, the website runs on a timer, and it keeps track of how many words were completed correctly. in order to give the students a score at the end of the exercise. This website can be used as part of a lesson in class, or it can be assigned for students to do on their own at home to continue practicing. It is believed that when students listen to music and/or sing about what they must learn, auditory learners especially, and all students in general, have a higher chance to succeed. To this effect, the website educationalrap.com was created, and it provides a variety of raps that can be purchased and downloaded for use in the classroom. Here's an excerpt of the rap about prefixes, suffixes, and roots that is very helpful for higher intermediate and advanced learners. These raps can be used as part of the presentation in a presentation practice production lesson, or the language focus stage in a task-based lesson. They can also be edited, and blanks can be added to be used as the practice stage in a lesson. With popular songs, one of the typical ways of including them in the classroom is to edit the lyrics and add blanks, making the song a closed exercise for students to complete. Some songs lend themselves well to be turned into exercises on verb tenses by just blanking the verbs and asking students to listen and complete. If the teacher decides to leave the base form of the verb in the lyrics between brackets, students can be asked to try to fill in the blanks before listening and use the listening portion of the exercise to check their answers. This can be seen in the example here of the song Amazing by Aerosmith. If the blanks do not include the verbs in base form, students would have to listen and complete the blanks and then take up answers with a classmate or as a whole class. This can be seen in the example here of I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2. This song is actually excellent to introduce the topic of present perfect tense, a tense that is often quite complicated for students. Other songs that can be used to illustrate the different uses of the present perfect tense are I've Just Seen a Face by the Beatles or We Are the Champions by Queen. The example exercise here for Colors of the Wind by Vanessa Williams can also be used to teach the present perfect tense, but in this case it would be the question form. When students listen to the song, they can put the words in order and form the question, thus learning about the structure. Apart from tenses, more complex structures can also be taught or practiced with the aid of songs. The fact that often phrases are repeated in songs becomes somewhat of a natural way of drilling a structure that students need to learn. One of the examples presented here with the song This Used to Be My Playground by Madonna also includes another exercise in which students need to put verses in order in the lyrics. This simpler exercise keeps students focused while not presenting too much of a challenge, since the focus, in this case, would be to drill and practice the structure of used to plus the base form of a verb to express past habits. The song If I Had $1,000,000 by the Barenaked Ladies is also an excellent way to drill the structure for the second conditional, while also presenting a topic that can derive in many follow-up activities due to its engaging topic. There are many songs that deal with interesting themes and topics that can spark great discussions in the class. These can be used for excellent lessons, focusing on listening and speaking skills in which the students can be encouraged to discuss their opinions. First off, Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne can be used to talk about stereotypes and choices one makes as a young adult or as a teenager. Students can even be asked to write the story of the characters in the song. There are many songs, especially country music songs, that can be used for this as well. The song Back When by Tim McGraw can be used to discuss some taboo language and words that have changed their meaning with time. It is important for students to be aware of these words and of the need for the proper register when learning and then using a second language. An excellent song to discuss a lot of different personal opinions is Affirmation by Savage Garden. There are many different statements made throughout the song that can spark a variety of discussions. A great activity that can be carried out with this song is called corners. 3 corners of the room are marked as I agree, I don't agree, and I'm not sure. With every statement, or some of the statements, the song is paused, and students must walk to one of the corners and discuss with the rest of the people there why they agree or not, or why they're on the fence. Finally, current events are frequently the inspiration for popular songs. Dear Mr. President by Pink, which was released at the end of 2006, refers to George W. Bush and can be used to discuss politics or current history of the United States of America. When including controversial topics, however, it is important to be well aware of every student in the class and be sure to avoid offending anyone. Last but not least, songs can be used to teach literary terms. The song Ironic by Alanis Morissette is a very good resource to teach irony to students whose native language is not English. The sample exercise here can be done before listening so that students can predict what ironic outcomes the singer will mention. In this case, students will then have to check their predictions by listening to the song. Some follow-up questions can also be given to students, and the listening activity can also turn into a reading comprehension activity. Similes are also quite difficult to teach to ESL learners, and songs can be a great aid for that as well. The song The World's Greatest by R. Kelly has many similes that can be discussed and explained in class, so that students can then learn to write their own similes or identify them in other pieces of literature they encounter. As you can see, songs can be used for a wide variety of activities and lessons in ESL. I hope you found these tips and tricks and sample exercises useful, and you'll enjoy adding songs and music when you teach. You will surely create memorable lessons by adapting the songs to what your students need and like. Thank you for joining us, and remember to visit Aunt TESOL's YouTube channel for more free video tutorials, and go to auntTESOL.com for information on our accredited TESOL courses.